The double duelist coming in. Starbound obviously on that chamber. This makes a lot of sense. Terror on the Neon. I'm looking at them to really put in the work. Make sure they're getting that firepower underway because Donut has been on the up.
See, this is interesting. So I just did a quick check because I remember being surprised watching AXL play before because Starbound has not been locking in the chamber. They've been playing all the other Sentinels that they haven't played in 3 years since going to Brazil, I believe it was, for the Game Changers finals. But so this will be going back to the true form, and I think it makes sense when you're up against Shopify Rebellion. Having that wild card, the X factor of the chamber pick in Starbound's hands is going to be a major boon for them.
Yeah, it's actually crazy because I'm just so used to Starbound picking Chamber that I completely forgot about the Cypher and the Deadlock arc and the Vice arc that they've been on recently. But this is gonna be fun. Jumping right into pistol round here though, and there are 5 players outside of A main for SRG.
Teleport's ready.
Yeah, and Axolotl are just going to have Miara patrolling outside of A main. They might even want to get aggressive, working down mid. That's where both of their duelists are right now. So Shopify Rebellion need to be wary of this if it comes online quick.
Slow setup here. Dart's gonna come in. A lot of information here from Axolotl. Will they be able to hold with the solo Sova on site?
Hard to say for now, as that Dart is instantly broken, but Miara seriously considering challenging here. Spots the Neon around the corner and will fall back and has the quick rotates of her teammates. Already Terror into the site. Both duelists have responded. And as they walk straight up, it's Miara to land the first shot. Reswing comes online as this time those bullets go slightly wide. Shopify Rebellion still stalled out on long. But as the smoke clears, it's now Noya tucked into the corner and out exposed. Dodo starts flying up into the site. The flood is there from Shopify as their duelist takes care of 2 players. And now this leaves
Spike planted.
Starbound Chamber in a 1-on-3. They need a slow. See how Starbound can isolate. Not at all. Dodonut with a fantastic pistol to kick it off.
That was beautiful. I mean, SRG, the contact timing, it just wasn't there at the beginning. They got picked off. Miara getting 2 picks, especially on Noya and that smoke at short. Just the smoke evaporating the second that Noya crossed over. Really unfortunate timing. But of course, Dodonut coming in to save the day. Those 3 kills were so important. Those first initial 2 trades just weren't there for Axolotl. And we're going to be on that second round here for SRG. This is the best case scenario for them right now because they know that Axolotl likes to stack. And as I say that, I see them stacked 5 towards A.
Well, stacking doesn't really matter when you're just getting shot like that. Instant collat to kick off the round. So already Noya having a lot of fun. Dodonut having some fun. See if another shot comes in there. It's actually close stuck to have a little bit of fun. Full house between Noya and the Astra for a flawless round 2.
That's really nice discipline. When I'm looking at a team like SRG, I think those kinds of rounds just remind me so much of how like basic fundamentals SRG has down. Because when you're looking at tier 1, when you're looking at VCT, especially in like Americas, a lot of these teams when they do hold, they tend to overextend a little bit or overpeak, but SRG, they just have it down to a science. They know how to get those eco frags in, and I think it works out for them at the end of the day.
So let's see if Axolotl can bounce back here. It's a bit of an interesting buy from Axolotl. Having a Guardian for Terror. And just the Headhunter bullets for their chamber. And again, this A side is a little bit lighter on the defense.
Yeah, for Axolotl too, their defensive side was not the best the last time they played Haven. The XX is going to come in though. Miara got caught out, but it doesn't matter. She gets 2.
Yeah, and it's all to support from Terror, I believe, with a fantastic stun. Supporting her teammate. It allows Axolotl to hold onto this site, even though Miara was completely caught out on a timing, going for the drone when the enemy Neon slid up.
Yeah, getting 1 kill there is actually insane. That would make me cry if I was on my drone and I just see someone zooming up. But really nice change of pace here for SRG. They knew that they were just using that bonus to try to get as many weapons down. But Starbound, one of the players we were talking about earlier, especially on this chamber, getting that operator online instantly, able to spot towards that long C. And 3 players set up for an aggro B push here to deny this gun round maybe.
Yeah, Axolotl have been sitting a few players on B in a couple of these rounds, but they've just been waiting for someone to swing window, and that swing has never come in. Shopify haven't left themselves open to that, but now the walk down, as mentioned, is coming, and there's no way Vanitas is prepared for this. Yeah, 0% chance. Now Shopify's 2 players outside garage need to make the tough decision. Do they walk into the op on C or into that potential walk down of those B players? And for now, it seems like they're just kind of stuck for the time being.
Yeah, Noya taking all this space towards long A. That's going to be so much information, but Miara's positioning. She's going to be able to get into a good spot. That drop might be heard, though, Ender.
Miara is in such a good spot. Holding for now. And there's the footsteps.
Bullseye.
Gun comes around the corner, so an easy claim. But will Axolotl be prepared for a chamber to be on their A side? It seems like they are. Look at these 2 players. Not giving an inch up for now. Stacked on top of each other. It's a good shot from Noyan. Instantly pulls over to the headhunter. So no trade to be found, and now the plant online for Shopify.
Left. Spike planted.
Close plan's going to be really important here, but out comes the retake. Super fast flood. Ender. Noya getting a pick onto Starbound. 1v1 Terror.
With that up in hand, Noya swings straight out into Terror's crosshair. That'll be a nice shot out of the duelist to tie things up at 2.
That fast flood happened so quick. I was not ready and not prepared for the retake to happen so quick from Axolotl, but it worked out. The timing. No one in SRG was prepared, and I think denying them getting into those post-con positionings is actually really important here. Axolotl, they've been fast. They've been this team that consistently has had this fast-paced play style, setting up Starbound for success on their attack sides and on their defensive sides, changing it up a lot. But I think from what we've seen from them play last time on this Haven, it's nice to see that their defensive setups have changed a lot. A lot of aggression, and they're doing it again.
You want to play? Let's play.
Just running it down right here. Even on the anti-eco, they've got the stun ready to go. Terror slides straight through the countered stun from the other side. As those bullets continue to go down, it's actually Dodo Nut with that stinger in hand to absolutely blow up Axolotl. It's just Miara stuck on backside, and players are pushing around both sides. This early aggression pays off absolutely no way for Axolotl. It's a perfect start to this eco round from Shopify.
Yeah, that's definitely one of those rounds. What? You're gonna struggle with Starbound. All of a sudden, this is winnable.
No way. And Shopify, they're all spread out. But Noya's position here is so tough to clear away. And Noya holds it down, so it gets sketchy there at the end, but all things considered, Shopify super thrilled to take that through.
I mean, I was just talking about praising Axolotl's aggression, but dang, that was crazy. Shopify Rebellion, really good reactions though. Dodonut with the speed up, the stinger of course as well, just being able to get to close range combat. Axolotl were not scared, but might be an overextension. Starbound though, one off of that operator, might not be able to get it because they're still set up towards that long C. These players again from Axolotl, setting up for another stack, going down fast, the paranoia is coming in. Not gonna catch anyone though.
No. You promised me that Axolotl liked the stacks, and we have been seeing that on full display. Doesn't matter if it's versus the eco round or on their own eco.
Joke's over.
They're just going for these
dead.
walk-ups. And it's while Shopify are running through Garage that both C and A activate on the pushes. Most of them now knows there's a player in front of them, but with Noya starting their pack, Shopify seem to be responding to these walk-ups pretty solidly so far, even using the utility of the curveball there. Stall out this pair for just a moment. Everything's going to be heard from Shopify. St. Claus shot out from window as Dodo on this tight angle is just keeping them at bay, allowing the rest of her team to come on in, and it's a three-piece out of Dodo again.
She stayed alive for so long there. That was really nice to see. But again, like you mentioned, Shopify is just so good at holding it down, knowing that that Axolotl is going to do some sort of aggression. They're going to do some sort of walk down. They just punished it. And I really like the discipline, again, using a lot of that util to replay instead of just taking their fights. But let's look forward here, because 3 ults on the side of Axolotl. They have that operator online with Starbound. They have the Phoenix ult as well. Shopify, they might be expecting something aggressive, but ironically,
you want to play? Let's play.
Wasn't really going crazy.
Yeah, Starbound just disrespecting the A-long for now as Noya also challenges in mid, and Shopify are just getting ready to pop out of the smoke on C. It's a pretty light site at the moment. It looks like St. Claus just going to go back and play with the team to come back in. No smoke on that angle for now. A little bit exposed, but AXL are taking their time. Again, they have to run it back.
Joke's over.
On this close angle, Shopify trying to dance around the corners here. Dodo swings right past the wall as the Phoenix is sent back. And now, some return fire. Looks like AXL still stalled out. The utility here is just absolutely brutal. Finally, they break through the wall. They still can't see anything. They're just looking at utility right now as Shopify all swing in on the same point. It's a fantastic round. And it's just Starbound left alive, with a chance to bring their team back in it. Revealed up and shot through the wall. Alexis wins the round.
What a wild round. I mean, the fact that it was a 1v1 is actually kind of crazy considering that Astro Wall and playing forward on that post plant from Shopify. It looked so good. They delayed that retake for so long, denied the Phoenix Salt as well from Australis, and just made sure they could barely get back into sight. And once they finally finished that first phase, that first wave of util, they fell back, had really good crossfires. But crazy how AXL almost came back into it. And I think that just speaks volumes into their firepower. AXL as a team, they've been so good, especially at getting those trades, especially when you're looking at a player like Starbound with that operator.
Yeah, really surprising to see the op purchase here on an eco round. That wasn't a save. That was just something they wanted to go for. And it almost netted them a first kill. AXL now with the walk down through mid, and Terror in quite a nice position. But Shopify have to be aware of this, especially that flame wall going out from the garage. Now Terror shows, but it's a wall bang through the wall. A headshot through the wall, that's what I'm going for. So no kill to be found for Axolotl. Stalled out for now.
Wall bang through the wall, indeed. It was not through a door, but Dodonut retaking that space, or attempting to, towards long A. The rest of the team grouping up. Shopify not aggressing past a certain point on this side, but they're walking into the operator here.
Starbound just single-handedly win this round for Axolotl. That's the question. And that's kind of the test you put yourself under when you purchase the op, the hero op of all things. And it's actually
30 seconds left.
A Nightfall. It's a fake, but with the walk down from C, Astralis knows that it's a fake. Is holding now, but these shots need to be found. Disaster over on the C site. And Noya has all the rotates found too, going through spawn. So Shopify have called perfectly around
10
the rotates.
seconds left.
And now just have to put the finishing touches on this round with Alexis on the lurk. That's not a way to start it. But still, late round insurance should be there. Oh my word! Vanitas on 3 HP. I really thought that was the way back in. And now Alexis comes in. That's back-to-back rounds that she closes out.
That was such a good round from Shopify. They were just so good at playing back. Literally that whole round, you did not see them go past that window in mid. They stayed all the way back. They were aware that there was going to be some sort of aggression, some sort of low buy. I don't know if they were expecting that operator because they still didn't overextend towards that A lobby, towards that A main. And once they spotted it out, they tried to bait it out with that Dodonut slide on the Neon. Just really well played. And I think they really read the situation super well. Noya as well with the lurk timings has been phenomenal. Seems like she's gotten up into places so many times for free that now when I'm Axolotl, I'm really considering those loopholes in the defenses.
And right now C site is a little bit open. It will be quick rotates in though. I think Axel will have the chance to get on the site if they choose to. For now, just going for the spam down, and that's going to mean Shopify no longer have control of backside. Losing their duelist is very punishing, so the fight comes into garage. Shopify are trying to grasp at straws here to control some amount of forward space. A good hold from Axolotl. The quick rotates have stopped Shopify from really accomplishing anything. If there would be a way back in, could be a pick here. And that's exactly what Noya's found. And another one too! Perfectly! Evens the score, 3 versus 3 now. Shopify still have yet to plant. Still just trying to bait in a quicker flood from Axolotl, but it's so reserved from the defense.
Planted.
Yeah, those 2 picks being really important. The over-aggression from Axolotl is going to make them consider it. But the drone They still have the dart as well. They have the shocks. They have quite a bit of util here, and the execute's coming in.
And you know the op is on site now. Don't have to worry about a flank. So
Last
focus
player
their attention
standing.
forwards. That's exactly where St. Claus is headed. Noya, only 3 kills in the round for Shopify. She needed the ace if they wanted a chance of winning that one.
It is over.
Yeah, I mean, 15 and 6 here for Noya is actually kind of insane, considering most of the time, most of the picks that they've gotten, he's on the lurks as well. She's been so good with her timings. I talked about it a little bit, but it's just been so important for this attack side here for Shopify. And for AXL, I'm actually quite surprised they haven't taken attack pause yet and try to talk about what exactly is going wrong, what's happening.
Yeah.
I think after that last round, they're going to be a little bit happier with that. They know that they only lost 2 players because of overextension. I think they're going to be understanding. But now, 4 players here.
You want to play?
On the side
Let's
of
play.
Shopify holding towards this A lobby and towards mid.
Oh, Noya
Spot.
revealed. Let's see if it makes a difference here, because Noya is not shying away from this one. Sees the shoulder, but the bait pulls Noya's attention away. That allows Starbound to strike. Now the question is, well, if you can't get past the operator, can you get past the judge, Shopify? Terror's in quite an uncomfortable position for Shopify to push in, so they're actually going to try to come back into this op.
A terrible position.
We'll talk about a terrible position. How about that right there? Nothing wrong with the spot. Starbound just got laid out, though. Now Shopify running into the site. Look at the flames on the ground. Miara can't even stand anywhere on that site.
Wow.
Vanita's running through Axolotl right now. 3 kills during the run it back. And now with beautiful forward positions, Axolotl, I don't even know if you can try and play this one out. No threat to come out from heaven. They smoke off the left side. Push Benitez to an unsupported spot, but Dodonut comes right on through the smoke and cleans up a pair.
Yeah, and just like that, 7-3, Shopify, they really pulled ahead. Again, the last time we saw Axolotl play this, they played this against Sen Otters. It went 15-13 in overtime. And the half that they struggled with the most was that defensive side. They did get 5 rounds, but it was a struggle. Both those were really close retakes. And then on the attack side, that's where they essentially just went out. So I'm looking at them here to at least get 2 more rounds to solidify themselves a really good half from that attack. Aiming control, though, coming in for both these teams. I think it's been super important. Noya trying to get another. Nothing.
Not going to land it this time either. This is the first round in forever that Starbound hasn't had the op. We've been seeing the benefits of the chamber kit being so cheap, especially if you're not wasting any headhunter bullets, that you can close up quite a few ops and light armors throughout the half. This time, just a standard eco round from Axolotl, not even trying any of those forward pushes like we've seen before.
Yeah, Shopify, they've been so good at reading those as well, just staying all the way
Teleport's
back,
ready.
punishing any aggression. And so I think now just running down the clock is going to be a good strategy here for Axolotl. 3 players still stacked towards the site, though. Crossfire is always good in a situation like this.
So much for
You hate to see the swing for a dart right there. Let's see what Starbound can do in backside, though. As teammate, shoulder to shoulder, baiting for Strawless, but that bait's not going to mean anything.
30
Alexis
seconds
was
left.
there. I see her activate earlier in a round here. Win a sight for Shopify. Let's see if Terra can make something happen, though. There's a couple of nice sheriff shots have equalized
Last
this
player
round.
standing.
And as I say that, Vinius is just going to get another 3K. I think there have been 5 rounds
Last
where a
round
Shopify
in the
duelist has
half.
just had a 3K. It's been a complete takeover.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of insane. And the more crazy part is that they're still not fragging as hard as Noya, which is kind of crazy, too. 15-8, 13-7, 12-7, really good numbers to have across the board. But actually, they have 4 ults this round. They literally have to secure this last round. They need to come up with a really good plan here, and it looks like they're going to do that ult towards long A play with the Sova ult. Really good strat, but it's been good for so long.
Well, Miar didn't pull the trigger
There they
on
are.
it just yet. Even though there was a dart tag, and here it comes in. Dodonut's seen, but that's the Neon. Neon is a little bit quicker. might be able to track, so it is 0 for 3 on the ultimate. And now Noya knows exactly where that Phoenix is. The double swing, you can't even find the trade because it's a chamber on the other side. Shopify have started this off beautifully, but they're coming back into Starbound's op. Have to be patient with the Prowler. Wait for that to clear the angle, and it forces Starbound back. And it nearly pick on this B site. Noya is just ridiculous. And as she gets that kill and notices the rotate onto the A side, what does she say? Bring the whole team back over towards the C side, where it is only the Omen hiding back in the corner. 2 would be almost a necessity if Axolotl want to win this round. And St. Claus stays alive for now. The rotates are swift. Terror into the site now. The flash comes into the back. And St. Claus is dealt with. Starbound.
I have them.
Wins their set.
Spike planted.
Yet again. A few too many rounds where they've had to retake. As a sole member. Now without audio, without any idea of the wherewithals of Shopify Rebellion. Oh, there's one. Fortunately, that close corner is exactly where Noya wants to be. It'll be a 9-3 half for Shopify.
Yeah, that
Switching sides.
Shopify, they just look so good. The best way I can describe this half so far is just fluid. Everything that they've done it really well together. Even there, when they're re-clearing towards that A lobby, Alexis using the Prowler, Dodonut sliding past as the Prowler catches onto Starbound, set up in that deep angle. It's just looking so nice, so fluid. You can really start to understand why Shopify is pulling ahead in this game, because everything looks so solid. I say that, but now we're going into the second half. Of course, whoever wins this best of 3 qualifies for playoffs. So I'm looking at Axolotl to be pulling out some crazy attack side rounds, especially when you're looking at the Starbound versus Noya setup.
Yeah, Axolotl, well, they wanted to go onto this map. This is their choice.
Yep.
So we need a better showing out from them. We need to see their duelists, I think, step up. Level we've seen from Shopify's, but that'll be a tough ask considering they have hit the brakes and allowed Shopify to rotate 3 players onto this site. And with a trip there to support as well, that's going to pull some attention to Terra. Work on in here. So the fast lane activates up, but it's a fake hit for the time being. Already you see the spike running all the way out of the site.
Really quick rotates, but you can see Shopify. They already know, they're understanding, immediately re-clearing the space A-long. That's going to be so much information. The Starbound is set up to catch those rotates, and a C-split coming in from Axolotl.
And the trip was wasted over on the A site, so it opens up B for the lurk. Starbound can cut off the 2 duelists from getting into the site. Axolotl just needs to deal with the hold here. But the players are here, and they're a huge problem for Axolotl. They have now answered.
30 seconds left.
Only Vanitas on the other side had been delayed trying to figure out where the lurking chamber was, but that lurking chamber is actually just posted up on the C site. Vanitas is going to figure that out very soon. Bit of a rude awakening there with the pistol round secured for Axolotl.
Really well played by Axolotl. I think that's going to just give them a little bit more of that edge towards winning this matchup. They're trying to get into it. 9-4. Perfect. The round differential is a little bit hard to work with. If they win this next bonus round, of course, and then trying to get into that round 15 as well, it's going to be quite interesting. Starbound, though, has the Outlaw online, ready to go for any of those peaks. They're going to play a little bit more passive here, if I suspect correctly. Shopify, they have a player walking down long C, and the other 2 kind of delayed behind Noya.
St. Claus on the line for now. We'll let Noya off with a warning, but I don't think Shopify are heeding that by any means. Vanitas has come all the way up, climbs the curveball, but it goes behind St. Claus's head.
Spikes
the
down.
flash didn't do
spawn.
anything to the Omen. Still, it will be traded out in the end by Noya.
Good re-aggression there from Shopify. They're going to keep Noya onto this C site as well, though. The TP has been taken back. Noya's kind of stuck in this spot as that chamber. The orb's going to be grabbed. 2 players walking up towards this C, but Shopify, they've sacked the wrong site.
Noya's been insane so far today, and she has the jump
Spike
on him.
down, C.
Oh no, 1-for-1, but that'll give somewhat of a fighting chance left to Shopify. Keep in mind, St. Claus is very low for this movement.
Yeah, and look at how fast Alexis has gone towards that flank, just pushing all the way through that A lobby. And all of a sudden, that flank timing is going to be kind of crazy. Bulldog picked up, able to go through garage. 3 of these players ready to do a split retake. The Prowler is going to make a lot of noise. But a good crossfire for Solo. Super key here.
Now a trip broken. See how well this duo can distract to allow Alexis to strike out Garage.
Standing.
1 kill, but nothing to be found for Alexis. And with a good flash, Astralis will land 3 kills and secure the round.
That's still 3 weapons down here for Axolotl. Their bonus is not going to be that fun. They're able to get a Stinger online, another Phantom. Never mind. Yara decided against that. They're just going to stick to the Sheriff. The pistols across the board again. That bonus, not going to be super fun, not going to be super crazy. But the Outlaw and the Phantom, the 2 most important weapons here, because Starbound going for a lot of those peaks has been phenomenal. It looks like they're going to go towards that A lobby once again, where it's going to be Noya catching Starbound once again for this long fight face-off.
Big damage on Starbound, not the way.
My ultimate's ready.
Axolotl are at a big disadvantage here. It's such a lifeline if they somehow were to win this. Taking a true bonus here would boost their economy for ages. Right back in it.
Concealment.
They also do have that Phoenix online on Astralis if they did want to use it to secure a bonus.
Ready.
But I think they're going to save it for that gun round. Noya, 10 HP, not a care in the world. Starbound actually going for that peak, but they are not going to cross paths. Vanita's also low. This is kind of wild.
Wow. Praise that Noya gets out there. 10 HP. And now trying to heat up into this A site. Noya still in the corner. And Alexis just patrolling with the Odin. As the flood comes in, Axolotl have been completely
Spike down A.
stuck in their tracks. That Spike now in firm control of Shopify as well.
30 seconds left.
Looks like they've done just about everything they need to wipe up on this
1 enemy
anti-eco,
remaining.
and they're going to follow through on that. It's almost a perfect round out of Shopify.
Yeah, Noya actually doing a really good job there for the rest of the team because she had that long A. Even though she was low, she crossed to that side of bricks and still had the off angle to know when they were retaking that long A space. And because of that, the rotates from Shopify are so quick, so clean. Alexis, like you mentioned, was already on site with the Odin before they even started the execute. And then you had Dodonut, who's on Neon, just full sending it and making sure they're on site. So really happy with the way Shopify's rotates have been going. But for Axolotl here, first gun round, operator online for Starbound.
Take flight.
Excited to see what they try to do with it.
Well, they're going to have to play this round without a Sova drone. Instantly broken. I suppose you don't really need that Sova drone to retake space over towards A, where you normally need it, because Starbound's just patrolling that with the op for now.
Yeah.
Firing squad, but it's a great flash from Astralis.
Careful now.
I mean that Vanitas takes some damage, but can heal that back up.
It's actually crazy how slow Axolotl is playing right now. They're so scared. They're so worried for aggression. But I think they're also doing a good job at baiting a lot of that util. Trying to see if there's any setups, any trap plays that they're falling into, because Shopify have been so good with that. I think they're just all holding and Noya picking off Miara. That's gotta suck.
You do not want to go mid if you're Axolotl. Noya's on top B, and the 2 duelists that were carving you up in the first half are double stacked in garage. Best look elsewhere, otherwise you are in a world of hurt. I don't know how Terror is running at garage from that angle on the attack side, but that's happening, I suppose. And St. Claus now has 1 kill and a second, but that's just about it as Shopify extend their lead to 6.
Teleport's ready.
That was kind of wild POV to see Terra running at you, sliding at you from that angle. Crazy, but yes, this timeout, it's really needed by Axolotl. Kind of wish they took it that last round with the guns, with the weapons, to make sure they flush out whatever they need to. because now they're broke once again. They're going to be on that eco. They're forced onto it unless they try to force and play for the win here. Might struggle, might have to send it to some sort of overtime. But Ender, I'm looking at Axolotl and it feels like a lot of these rounds, they're doing things right. They're just unable to get a lot of these picks. The drone, obviously Miara getting punished was not the best, but they're getting the information. They're trying to set up something off of it, but it just feels like Shopify is one step ahead every time.
Yeah, I think right there with Noya having the boost on top B, if you know the other side has a chamber and wants to post on angles like this, playing slower rounds is especially risky, and especially when you don't have the drone from the rip. I feel like if Axolotl want to simplify their game, that might be their best pathway to success. Just play a little bit more grouped, play for execs behind your utility, because with how Noya is playing, I just don't see a world where slow macro almost ever pays off.
Yeah, that's really valid. I think she's just been phenomenal as well in this game. And I talked about Australis as well at the beginning of this game. I cursed her. I'm sorry. The 6 and 14.
What? Your apologies don't mean anything anymore. It's already over.
Listen. Hey, it's 11-5. They could come back. I don't want to hear it. It's happened before. You should know the experience.
I need to check the facts.
A.
I understood. Unfortunately, the facts don't care about your facts because Noya's done it again. And, well, I think that might continue. At least there's no haunt this time around. Nice Spectre shot, but Alexis is just going to do some silly things with an early nightfall. Already, Shopify
Spike planted.
trying to make this happen. Half of Shopify's team wasn't even on the site, and Alexis ripped that one on the anti. I'm not quite sure about that, but I'm also not quite sure it's going to even matter because the gun advantage, the player advantage, and the Alexis advantage.
Alexis advantage. The Odin advantage goes crazy, but good information. The Nightfall, yeah, a little questionable, but I really like that Alexis used the Prowler afterwards to just get constant passive information. Using the Prowler with the Nightfall to scan where they're sitting, maybe see if they're doing some sort of aggressive setup, pushing towards spawn, but she realized really quickly they were just playing on site. And now, all of a sudden, for Axolotl, map point. 12-5. They really need to pull something crazy out of here. You talked about them grouping up under. It looks like they're going to do that towards that long seat.
Oh no. They chose wrong though.
Yeah, no. The Terminator's here,
Please.
guys. Watch out.
Please use your drone early. Please, it's the only chance. Oh no. Noya got baited for it. The drone didn't see her. Oh, it's devastating. And she's in front of the Omen ult. So they somehow anticipate this and move away from the Terminator.
That was so scary for a second. But they're Noya's regressing.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. She's too good.
Miara, no.
No. There's so much left to play for. You can still win. You just have to run away from Noya. And Axolotl have understood that now. They have to figure out some way to get back into this round. And it's not going to be easy. Starbound tries to swing into that again, but yeah, Noya exists.
Agreed. Yeah, that's rough, and it was Miara too.
Running low.
But it's been a couple rounds now that Miara's been getting caught off guard.
Go.
Three of these players, though, actually are trying to make a play, trying to end towards east. First time they've gone to the site in a while. The Odin. Oh, gets
30
punished.
seconds
Terrors.
left.
Alexis was shooting a 7-foot player with the Odin there. Luckily for Axolotl, no one quite that tall, so they're all good. That being anchored down into this site. They have a serious chance of pulling through this round somehow with the forward control. Australis has found. Axolotl played 2 offside. And St. Claus has been a standout performer as the sole player in that close angle. Swing comes online, no kill to be found just yet. Glow stick is lighting him up. Australis, what can you do here? Flame wall out to try and
One
player
enemy
off
remaining.
the spike, and it's another one random through the wall, but the Terminator is left. Does she have the time? Noya, not quite good enough. Australis clutches up here, the Red Bull clutch, and around for Axolotl.
You told me apologies mean nothing. You see, Ender, Australis is so back. She's so
She is.
back.
It's true.
We're so back. That was such a crazy round. I think Shopify jumping the gun a little bit. Alexis spamming that Odin, but getting spammed back. Oh man, and St. Claus, you mentioned they've been so good. They've had multiple rounds where they've actually shut down the executes on that defensive side as the solo player on site. And now this attack side, some pivotal
You want to
players
play?
really
Let's play.
solidify that round. Early drone though, coming in again from that long C. They're not going to catch the Neon this time though. Will stick alone on site. Looks like they're actually going to commit to the execute.
I like it. No chamber found and plenty of ultimates to work off of. Astralis going to be sent back for a second chance in this round, but Shopify are here. It doesn't even matter if Noya isn't on this side of that because everyone else is.
Spike down,
Starbound
C.
left in a 1-on-2. The Spike stuck on site and only 2 bullets left on this op. Starbound will fall back. Still a minute to play with on the clock. And no idea of where Noya could be at this moment. They're going to take their time.
Teleport's ready.
The important kill here will be Noya. She's the first one on the line. And with Alexis being so low HP, a quick switch over to the Headhunter could be brutal. Especially now that Shopify have separated somewhat. But the fact that Alexis just cleared out front line, she could actually turn around and post up here. It's not going to matter.
Win.
It will simply be our president to see us through for the first map. So I think we're seeing a world here with a new team and a team that's maybe playing less for individual comfort picks on every map and allowing Starbound to work on something new here.
Yeah, I think I'm also really looking at Terror here for AXL because Neon is their most played agent and they struggled just a little bit in that last matchup. But we know that it was mainly because of Noya. But now that that operator isn't there, maybe they're able to shine back on this duelist role on the Raze. This is their second most played agent here for Terror. And Raze, really good on split. I personally love a Raze. The double satchels work really well, especially with a lot of that aggression that AXL likes to do. I think the movement's there, the nade usage, the util usage is there. And as I say that, they're set up for an aggressive B main here on their defensive side.
Paranoia at the ready.
Going out.
And the one-way smoke to lead it off. Flash to confirm that no one's run in past the one-way, so that'll just be an easy orb secure from Axolotl.
That's really nice aggression and really good way to start off the round because I think here for Shopify, they're still playing it really slow, trying to go for, or trying to see, sorry, if Axolotl is doing any aggression, but they're actually not getting those orbs. It's really nice. It's nice to see that they've understood. But Strahl is here in a scary position. Whoa, over peeking a little bit, so falling back.
Get on out of there. I was worried on the other side. I thought Noya was going to try and jump over the Vice wall, which I don't think was going to work, but you never know. And now Terror, who walked through B main earlier, strikes them right in the back from the other side with a step down mid. And she's going to run away to try and bait for the player in the corner. St. Claus was hanging out. Little layer upon layer from Axolotl, and it's given them a beautiful start to this test around, and it's only going to get prettier. It doesn't get any better than that. What a way to start off map number 2.
Wow, what a pistol. That was really nice. The timing of the re-aggression, they heard that orb being taken. At least I think they heard that orb being taken towards that B main on the side of SRG. But then Axolotl, they turn around, re-aggress towards mid. They see that no one's broken that Skydog early on and just walk down. The contact plate was really nice. Shopify as well, just pulling apart a little bit, taking their ones, going one by one for those peaks until eventually calling back a player. Really nice to see from Axolotl. This is a good start for them here. Go get him.
We'll see if they continue to challenge so aggressively in the mid rounds. That round, I think Shopify got caught sleeping a little bit because of how much forward space Noya had. But this time, just already through B main, not slowing things down really at all.
Spike down B.
Only the singular kill to be found on Terror. And Dodonut realizing that, well, she's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place.
One enemy remaining.
And just shot down through that hard place. Easy kill for St. Claus. Now they found Noya as well, so very effective anti-eco here out of AXL.
Yeah, they know that they don't need to do too much right now. They're very content with how they're playing so far. They've kind of conditioned a little bit the contact plays. So that first gun round for them, it's going to be really nice to see how they play. I think Shopify, they're going to be a little bit worried about that aggression. Noya just going to get caught off. But I think, kind of to continue what I was saying, I think Shopify Rebellion is just going to
has trouble sleeping.
and keep seeing if there's any aggression. They're not going to go
I'll be
anything
her remedy.
too crazy, too quick, because they don't want to put themselves in that position. Especially because AXL, they've been doing that. And I think the switch from last map to this map, where we're seeing them change the pace. I know it's only been 2 rounds here. Okay, I know I may be working on something a little crazy, but they've changed up their tempo already. I can tell by the way that they're playing this comp. And I think it might be to do with the fact that Starbound is on the Vice and they don't feel pressured to set up a chamber anymore.
Still not going to stop them from picking up the Outlaw. And actually, AXL will hang out with 2 players on this A site. Already, the wall that Noya spotted in the pistol round has been pulled out. But if Shopify were to accelerate into A, you've got double thorns on the ground and the flashes of Miaro. So this would be quite the challenge for them.
Time to hunt.
Solo player on site as well here for Starbound. Gonna try to delay as long as possible, but again with an Outlaw, it's kind of hard when you're in that position.
Going up.
Shocking.
Whole lot of walls up here in heaven, as now with no thorns, Dodo Nut is double flashed on the way down into the site. Switch over to the Bandit, and that's a kill for Starbound. But now as the pressure mounts, there's nothing quite to be found, and Noya's locked up heaven. A teleport as well from Glowstick just to keep this forward control. Shopify have thoroughly asserted themselves on this A side of the map. With the Haunt even on top of it too. It is just moments until Shopify should be able to wrap this thing up. As long as Glowstick stays alive, a sentry up on Rafter, and a brilliant spot too, especially without the threat of anything coming after him.
One enemy remaining.
Although the shots aren't quite found, it'll be up to Alexis to steady the ship and secure the first for Shopify.
That is so expensive for Shopify though. 3 weapons down on their first gun round. Next auto, they're going to be able to buy all their weapons that they need. Looking here, they're not actually going to get punished. That's crazy. I thought that was going to be a lot more expensive for Shopify, but they're still able to full buy. There's a couple of half armors on the side of them, but this is fine. And now, first gun round here. First full fight for both teams. Lots of rifles across the board. Shopify, they've known that Vice wall is there. They've baited it out now. And they're doing another fast A heaven bait.
Yeah,
It's not
Shopify really
gonna-
want to bully A, but they've lost a player already.
Yeah.
Not a good start. See how they make their way out of this one. This is having a tough time so far, and it means that Shopify have to work without any flashes. Dog should spot a player when
Scout
it comes
destroyed.
through, but actually, the timing was caught. Dodo slipped down into vents there, Athena.
Yeah, that's a really nice time to have. And Dodo can meet up with Glowstick here to get that peek on A heaven.
Go, go, go.
Potentially pulling some of the rotates as well to enable the rest of their team to commit towards A, but they get that Viper spit pulled out. They know that they're playing towards B. Having a lot of pings though on the minimap.
Yeah,
Kinda
they're
split
really
towards
trying to
A.
sell this fake. Yeah, they're trying to sell the fake completely and pull some rotates, but AXL haven't adjusted at all. Somehow Dodo's gotten past the smoke and that player in heaven, but now losing their neon, and still there being the double thorns on site. Makes
30
this
seconds
such
left.
a tough task. Noya on 3 health is there as well.
One enemy
Through that
remaining.
wall, and it is going to be a
down
complete lockdown of A. Shopify Rebellion never looked like they stood a chance.
Yeah, they're struggling to get past a lot of that Vice util. They're doing a good job at baiting the wall. But like you said, the thorns on site, they don't have nades or anything of that sort to try to destroy them. So they have to go full force into them. But Ender, I think the plan was to go B heaven and flank A. I'm not even kidding. I think that was the plan because Dodo slipped all the way past and into stairs somehow. But of course, the 1v1 just getting lost there. I think for Shopify now, they're going to get a little bit desperate. 4 players towards this A side. Yes, they're on an eco. Trying to change the pace a little bit.
Yep, They threw that haunt up onto the ramp, but this is the first time they're going to meet any amount of forward aggression. Right? AXL have just had the wall here in the past, and this time those bullets are connecting on Shopify heads. 2 kills already for them. Although Alexis does have a Phantom now, and with a return shot clipping Astralis right between the eyes. That evened things up at 3 apiece. The difficulty is, with this double stack in heaven, there's almost no chance of Shopify reclaiming any guns, so I like this calling from Alexis, bringing the team down onto the ground on site. That should secure the plant and a potential nightfall to come. Streams. Starbound waiting for it, and now those chances are starting to dwindle away.
Last player standing.
This has that Phantom, but just a little bit unlucky. The wall getting in the way of that kill, and another one to be found for Axolotl.
I love the discipline from Axolotl, staying towards heaven, knowing that they could be out on site, using that Roomba to re-clear that A heaven ramp. Just really nice stuff here from Axolotl. They're looking pretty solid, and I'm genuinely pleasantly surprised because they struggled so hard on their defensive side on Haven. And also, this is one of Shopify's favorite maps to play, especially in Game Changers. They've been so dominating on a map like Split, and now it's looking like they're struggling to kind of find the openings that they need. And that tack is going to come in, which makes a lot of sense because they haven't been able to find the openings. They've been baiting that Vice wall, but they still haven't been able to end onto that site. I feel like maybe they're going to try to do some sort of mid control here.
Yeah, well, Googly's had some eyes on making changes now after falling down 1-4, so it will be the timeout for Shopify Rebellion. And when you're looking at it, they've got a Nightfall. They're 1 away from a potential Viper's Pit in the post plan as well. You should be able to plan something pretty easily around an ability as strong as that.
Yeah, and I think the even crazier part is Axolotl isn't actually doing anything crazy. They're just playing sound. They're playing fundamentally well. They're able to re-clear using the util because they have that Skydog and Skyflash, because they have the Roomba on Raze. They're just so good at being able to just use util instead of the bodies to be able to re-clear and keep that map control, which is where they were struggling on that first map. So I think here Shopify definitely overcooking a little bit, but I am expecting them to pick up the pace, try to take those fights and force them to just overpeak, overextend, make it a little bit chaotic in the middle of the round, you know?
Absolutely. Another thing we got to see is the new duo kill list so far to start off Split. Need them to get back into the game, and honestly weren't asked to do a whole lot back on Haven with how dominant Noya had been, but now as Noya slips onto a more supportive role, more is going to have to be asked of the teammates, and it will be with a fake out towards this A side. I think anticipating that it's usually lighter on this side of the map, and by breaking the wall up in Heaven too, it is a perfect fake. This goes all the way back to Haven, where Axolotl were so quick on the rotates that fakes like this pay off beautifully.
I have this.
Full sight in their hands as well. They're able to get into that close hand positioning, and just like you said, the Viper Pit is going to be online. Noya not putting it down just yet, though. I think they know that they're in a good spot.
Yeah, finally it comes in. The trouble is, there is a showstopper on the other side.
I'm out of here.
Very hard to stay alive inside of that pit. That's why you see Noya playing so deep on that, so she can tuck back around Pillar. Make sure this pit stays up. Satchel's primed. There goes Terror, straight into the green, and she's down before the ultimate even comes out. So no rocket left, and Glowstick is right behind them.
Oh.
Beautiful round from Glowstick, stepping up after the timeout. The first 3 kills of the map for them, and they come at a perfect time.
Oh my god, Glowstick. I mean, those shots were nasty. That third shot was insane. Really well played, and Noya, probably the only Viper player I know that when they hear that Razel come online, they actually walk towards it in their Viper Pit. Kind of crazy, but they got the kill. Noya, really well done. And Glowstick Ender, I just wanted to point out that they actually came through GC Academy. They played with Mask Hearts and moved on to play with teams like Swing Tech Blue. So I think this performance so far, especially joining a team like SRG, a lot of that momentum, a lot of that pressure is there. They're playing it beautifully.
Absolutely. This round starting to get a little bit messy, though. as Alexis found the first kill. Now teleport into sight. Glowstick will join the party, and Noya's been locking it down on ramp consistently. AXL have never had control there. Now they're going to have to figure out a way to retake down a player.
Kooky crazy mid-round is what I wanted, Ender. That was great.
Exactly what Shopify needed to see. And now with another refight into heaven, just catching the timing there. And Benitez, I'm not sure what anyone was looking at, but it doesn't quite matter. It's moments like that where I wish we had like the POV replay to understand exactly what just happened.
Last player standing.
I can't believe Starbound's trying to play this one out with an op in their hand. Nonetheless, it'll be the round win for Shopify.
All of a sudden, the lead looks very, very slim. 4-3, just one round in between these teams. And yeah, if I'm Shopify right now, I'm really happy with the way that we're trading. The way that we're able to just keep our cool when it comes to chaotic parts of the round. They've done a lot of this A control as well. They've just consistently punished it. Starbound actually switched to B after that third round. And it's been working. A lot of this punish. They've been able to beat a lot of that util, been able to counter and push through these walls, push through the Viper. Just make sure they're getting those picks. So now again, the A heaven control for Shopify.
Benitez running it back though, up through heaven, just holding down left click, but will eventually be sent back, and Terra steps right into that fight as well. So a good start from AXL, but they've maybe over-rotated. You see two players that had left B now are worried that they haven't seen all 5 members of Shopify.
Go, go. Shocking.
And
There we go.
actually it was Dodonut climbing that wall, just try and add some distraction, but she drops in B heaven. Again, a little fake idea to open up Alexis for an easy walk onto the A site. Alexis has really identified this as a weakness of Axolotls.
Yeah, pulling a lot of those rotates, playing quick. Australis here, getting a pick onto the glow stick. Tries to get another.
Flash though. Trades that back instantly, so now 2-on-2 for the post plant. Starbound has the ultimate.
Last player standing.
Will they let it rip? I'm not sure. Right now choosing to play out with the guns. That means Alexis is on even
One
footing.
enemy remaining.
And that's a crispy first shot. The haunt out 2 must be broken. Stick to half. Alexis knows it. Still holding it down. Alexis needs to get back into this fight. Starbound pulls away at exactly the right moment to clutch up and take the round.
That was wild. It felt like everything was falling in place for Shopify. Pulling those rotates, getting a lot of that map control, being able to just walk out onto site after that first pick as well for Alexis. And again, that retake from Axolotl has been so good. The flood, the trees, just being able to get those picks on the players that were lagging a little bit behind towards that A heaven, towards that mid. Looks really good here for Axolotl. I think they're just a lot more confident as well in the defensive half. Safe to say that playing with that Vice has made them really content and really able to just not worry about sites as much as when they're playing with the Chamber.
Yeah, and they've switched up their setup too. Right now fighting more aggressively on the A side. At start of rounds, they've just been dropping a Vise wall in mid and then allowing Starbound to work back onto the B site. But it's a bit of a
No more thorns.
force-up buy from Axolotl. It's not pretty. That means this side of the map a little bit vulnerable. So Starbound falls away. Just wait. Use that Steel Garden for the retake.
Full sight. They know that they're able to get into post plants. Glowstick using that TP onto site, but then getting back to get
Spike planted.
Alt orb with the plants.
We're really cooking with that one.
Yes,
Trying
that's-
to fake out the upper corner. Let's see if it does anything. So far, I'm not so sure, but also Axolotl haven't really worked in while the guns are jammed up. Completely given up on that time. Now Lexi close on the corner, supported by Noya. Shopify didn't lose any amount of control over that site. That is just about perfect.
The best part was, if you saw on the minimap, Dodonut was also behind them. So had anyone not been able to hold in that post plant for the side of Shopify, Dodonut would have been behind them and be having to clean up. Really well played by Shopify. They're getting themselves into these good situations when it comes to post plants. I think, again, just reading it really well. Breaking a lot of that Vice util and just executing once they know that they've been spotted or made that noise. think Shopify, they've done a good job at switching it up, whether they're playing to contact, whether they're just getting that A heaven really early and being aggressive, or they're just pulling the rotates like you mentioned. They've just been doing like an array of things, and that just shows how deep their map pools and their play style, their playbook is.
And so, with Shopify starting to mount a comeback here, just trailing by 1, King Fred is gonna hit that big old timeout button. Talk to the team for a moment. I think I've enjoyed the switch up that they've made on the macro sense from Axolotl and trying to show those forward A fights, but
Yeah.
I think maybe in a lot of these retakes they've struggled to find success.
Yeah, when you think back on that round with the Raidiant, unable to get anything with that showstopper, unable to get any of the space or at least the Vipers put down. And fast forward, you see a lot of these timings that they're getting, even when they're up numbers, trying to do that fast flood, but just unable to find anything because a couple of those times Shopify's crossfires have just been too good, and their timings have been really good on the flanks as well.
Eco round from Axolotl. So 4 players getting ready to waltz on down mid. A double hold, high-low from Shopify, although Glowstick gets pulled away to prime a paranoia, and that is going to cost Shopify massively. That would have been instant kills for Shopify. Had the call not been to activate on A, but now Glowstick gets to be a little rat in the corner and trade back evenly on Starbound.
Spike plant.
Phantom picked up. That other rifle is not going to be found because Glowstick has gone away with it, but
Very
they're
good.
still rushing. So much noise here for Glowstick.
Yeah, St. Claus finally picks up the Vandal, and the flash catches Glowstick perfectly. Astralis trying to hunt down the opposing Omen, but without dealing with their backs, Axolotl are facing misery in their future. A 4K out from the newer member of Shopify Rebellion, and we're all tied up here at 5.
I really like the fact that Dodonut came all the way back super fast to just help crunch onto those players that are flanking. Again, a lot of these little micro things that Shopify is doing just to solidify their teamwork, make sure that they're not doing anything fully solo. I think that's where a little bit of the difference is. Axolotl, though, they were grouped. It was just an eco. It's fine. But now they have to lock in. They need to secure one more round, or at least 2. I think it's so important, especially when you have 3 of these ults online for them, to be able to get that retake down. They should not be able to be struggling on a retake here when they have that Sky Seekers, when they have the Showstopper. They need to make it count.
So the one change King Fred made in that
Dropping
timeout
spike.
is flipping the positions of the Omen and the Viper. Actually, a
Bring
judge
them
for
down.
St. Claus, ready if there was to be this pop-up ramp. So far, Axolotl are unaware that 3 players of Shopify are ready to come in and challenge. And now they've dealt with the judge, so no one on the close corner. The patience from Shopify puts Axolotl to sleep, and they found themselves an empty A site here. Terror, the only player to really interrupt this. They want to challenge out from heaven. Just paint shells for now. And the tendency of Noya
I've
looking
got your
up ramp
trail.
and being that late player has to be noted.
Take them!
Somehow Lexi hits the most forward nightfall I've ever seen, catching 3 players deep, and it's to pull out this showstopper early. There's no one in heaven. It's just an ultimate trade 1 for 1. Now Terror is too slow. Maybe that's going to connect, and Dodonut will drop. Finally, some value found out of that big ultimate, and still no spike to be planted. Shopify Rebellion are really concerned on site. 2 of their players playing offsite up heaven. And those players will have to activate now. The operator still guarding for now.
One enemy remaining.
And striking too. Axolotl work in tandem. Couple of pairs on the approach, and it works out perfectly.
That's crazy, considering that Nightfall was so good, considering that they delayed the retake for so long, only for the spike not to be planted for Shopify. That's so unfortunate. They had really good timings. They were forcing
Last round
Axolotl
before
to be
the switch.
retaking through spawn because they've had all the map control. They had that heaven space. They had spawn. They had that site as well. The only spot that Axolotl could funnel in is through spawn unless they retook heaven. So they just gave them that extra time. There was no pressure from the spike being planted, the time ticking down, and they just got punished. Axolotl really good retake though. They spent 2 of those ults, the Showstopper and the Seekers. I think it was well done. A lot of that information from the Seekers allowed that Showstopper to just be able to get one of those picks.
Well, looks like we have ourselves a tech pause here right before halftime, so buckle up here and hang out for just a moment. But I've heard that we might be getting back in no time at all here. Might have just been the briefest tech pause of all times. This was truly just about building a small amount of suspense, and hey, we're right back at it.
The script writer cooked with that one.
Yeah,
Dramatic
like,
pause goes crazy.
have you heard about the calm before the storm? Yes. That's exactly what we are missing in a
have
game
the
like
spike.
this. It's so close already. You can feel the tension.
Bring them
You
down.
know that both sides have operators. You know that
Donut.
Shopify would love to tie the game.
Donut picking the off is really nice here, actually. She's been so good with that operator. Previously was maining that jet, maining a lot of the chamber as well when she was playing on previous teams like CLG and FlyQuest. Now trying to set up, trying to get a pick, and Miara might just fall into it. The first kill going on to Miara, and I feel like we're getting deja vu here.
Bring them down.
Look, you can jiggle Dodo once, but you can't jiggle her twice. That is a disaster class. Oh dear, Glowstick catches 2 players rotating as well. All 3 players that have died this round for AXL have simply been rotating. Like, they weren't re-clearing something, they were rotating, shift walking, and instantly punished. It felt kind of like that on the previous round as well, where if Shopify don't do anything for the first 40 seconds,
30
AXL
seconds
will just
left.
start moving and then leave themselves open to some potential problems. Speaking of problems, that spike now must be recovered. It's still a long way back in here. We'll have to be some heroics of St. Claus. Creeping forward on ramp. Noya spotted a shoulder though. And now Starbound coming around the other side, but
Last player standing.
under too much cover. Noya just wins that?
What was
Really?
that? Ew.
That was sick. Yeah, good luck. This round is just over. A tie before the half.
That was kind of crazy. But
Switching sides.
to just continue on what you were saying, a lot of the rotates there for Axolotl were the ones being caught off. And I think that's what Shopify has been aiming, or at least trying to do, this whole map so far. Going fast, getting aggression, making sure they're baiting that Vice wall out, and then holding to see if there's anything that they could pick off. And I think that's why they were struggling the first few rounds, because nobody was overpeaking, nobody was just changing their positioning, and now they kind of got punished. But 6-6 half is still really good news here, considering that this is one of Shopify's best maps so far when it comes to game changers.
Let's see if Axolotl can continue to find success and challenge here on their own attack side. It started off for them by winning on the pistol. The rifle rounds have been favoring Shopify so far. Glow stick is down. That's a way to kick off a half. All of a sudden, the B side starting to crumble. Noya stuck behind the dark cover as ignore the Viper orb up in the middle of the atmosphere.
I didn't even notice that.
That was definitely a lineup St. Claus was trying to throw to, I believe, land back on Alley. But it's all good. We can just forgive and forget. Focus on Shopify, trying to make this retake happen. Although, Noya is still in mid. Noya is really anticipating a late wrap from Spawn. There's a paranoia sent out to cut both the Heaven players, but it's a bit disjointed. Now Shopify regrouping. Dropping back down into the site, coming right around Pillar, and that's exactly where Axolotl were waiting. Astralis claims 2, and a second pistol for Axolotl.
St. Claus used confusion.
And it was very
extremely
effective.
I saw
You know
actually
what?
winning both pistols. That's crazy. What do I know,
Yeah.
Ender?
I would say we can forgive a missed orb when you win the pistol
Yeah,
round. It's all good.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. They just won both pistols. There's no
Actually,
need
it
to
was
worry.
an ultra brain plan because St. Claus knows that Alexis likes to throw her haunt in that exact position, and by using the orb there, you can block the haunt. No, that's not what it was. But they won it regardless.
Cover going out.
Stop.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Shopify,
you're
don't
killing me.
force up anything, because, you know, why take any amount of risk here when they've been so lights out on the rifle rounds? And the cover falls. Actually, prepping for this silent pinch on the B site that has now been revealed.
Satchel out. Satchel out.
Well, we can forgive a couple
Yep.
satchels
Nope.
too. The geometry there is a little annoying. We can see that. Oh dear. There's 3 people in a trench coat standing backside B. Surprise! Miara's gonna kill them all, and this round almost certainly belongs to AXL here. He's gonna run on through the smoke, be taken
Spike
care of,
down, B.
and just delay the spike from being planted a little bit.
Spike
Now it's
planted.
AXL's turn to wear the same trench coat, stack up together, and win this round.
Yeah, Shopify is going to be happy to get their rifles online now. I think on their defensive side, they've been so good at changing up their setups every single round. And I'm also looking at Dodona and Vanitas. I feel like here Vanitas has been quiet all game, 2 and 13. But usually when they play this map of split, they're so good at aggressing on opposite sides, actually, making sure they're putting a lot of pressure on the map and forcing the attacking side to use a lot of their util to re-clear. And so we're going to see a little bit of that towards mid here with Vanitas, using that Phoenix Flash with that orb combo to just delay for as long as possible. And Dodona pressing a little bit towards that A heaven. AXL, they're just going to try to go for some picks towards mid here because that bonus is going to be a little bit more fun to get those close fights.
Noya very low, just 18 health, while Shopify ran through A main and took care of the lurker. AXL will still have to choose where they want to finish. And it looks like an idea to split back into A, but by throwing this boombot, will make Shopify think twice, and they've already moved both their duelists onto the B side.
Where are you?
The Haunt's going to come in. That's going to be some mid-round info, but AXL actually hiding from it. Not much
false
information
information.
gathered. Yep, fake news.
All said, though, Alexis is in the god position. This one really tough to clear out. Miara is holding the line, anticipating it a bit,
Satisfying.
but as said, it's really hard to clear
Spike
anyone
down
out of
A.
this spot. Such good coverage, and
30
now
seconds
Astralis will finally do it by stabbing Alexis straight in the back. It's still limited time now for AXL. Another tough spot to clear if you're trying to work back into the site. Even if Noya's on
One
18
enemy
health,
remaining.
it isn't going to matter.
Spike down A.
We'll claim hers before she falls, and the rotates have already come
10
online.
seconds left.
Astralis goes to the plant for heaven, and now realizes that there's stuns coming online. There's neons right up in her face, and this round is all Shopify's.
Really good map control once again. I think towards that A site, there were so many micro movements that happened that actually played a really big part into it. Obviously, Alexis crossing towards heaven after that eye, not over rotating off, still being aware that there could have been a timing that they were coming towards A. Being able to get 2 picks obviously is really big. The heaven gap, Astralis managing to get 1. Noya recognized that and pulled Dodona to come fight A main instead with her. So they prioritized that site fight. And again, it worked out really well.
Bring them
Able
down.
to get 1. Dodona's on site, ready for that spike. And Shopify just showing once again how fluid their gameplay is.
AXL are once again banking on this mid control. This time, though, Vanitas isn't even supporting Noya. Will eventually get called back in. If AXL will stick around, that could be some trouble. You've talked about the curveballs and come online for Vanitas, but some utility being exchanged. That's going to push Vanitas away. Force Noya to scurry down into hell. AXL will claim full control out of heaven. The curveball comes down into mid, but Astralis stays hidden.
Satchel
And
out.
with Noya falling, it is just glow stick on this side of the map. Getting bullied a little bit as they teleport straight into the smoke. A paranoia will buy them some amount of cover. They thought there was one person blinded with an op, but there were actually 2. And the other one completely unaffected. Will lock up full control of B main and allow Starbound to repost on this line. Continue keeping these Heaven Bears second guessing themselves. Especially with the concern of terror right down on the bottom of the zip line. Shopify Rebellion are going to lick their wounds and call in the save.
Good call here. It's really hard to win a 2v5 just like that. Axolotl doing a really good job of just getting active, making sure they're getting a lot of those picks. I think also the positioning in mid there, being able to hide from a lot of that util. Shopify, they did not actually fight for that mid control. They just allowed Axolotl to take full control. I think that's where they did a good job. Finding those loopholes, finding the gaps in Shopify's defenses. Really well played. We're going to see them kind of go back into that stride because 3 rounds on the left side for Axolotl so far. Obviously 2 of them because of that pistol. It's looking like a good start. They just need to make sure they keep it up because that first half, they did the same thing, but it went to 6-6.
They have to extend here. If Axolotl want a chance of forcing a map 3 and keep their hopes alive of booking their ticket to the main event with a win over Shopify, this is going to be one of the most important rounds they will play today. Try and break Shopify's economy, beat them.
Toxin screen down.
Working even closer to some pivotal ultimates. They found the weaker side of the map for now, but their patience has allowed Donut to work their way up into heaven.
Toxin screen
Cycle
down.
of the toxins as it hops on down. Now the dog working on site. Satchel out, but Noya's in the corner. Noya dealt with. How many times you see her not find success in a position like that? A rarity, but Axolotl trying to pounce on the opportunity that has been afforded to them. And pounce they have. Glowstick now spotted out into screens as Axolotl takes full control over the site. St. Claus in a beautiful position. Veer down on the players, popping out, but she's been spotted. Raidiant knew exactly what was going on, but it won't amount to anything. You still know there's an op on site. Glowstick just has the Guardian. And pinged out by the flash as well. Maybe the best thing they can look for is some picks on the exit. But this game is starting to slip away from Shopify. Glowstick trying to make an attempt here. These players are rotating out of the site. That will bring them back on in. But Starbound is as steady as they come. 3 kills on the round and double digits for Axolotl.
If I'm Shopify here, I'm scrambling to come up with an answer. And one of the answers that I'm thinking of is being able to set up a lot more trap plays. Letting Noya anchor a site, Glowstick as well. Alexis and Vanitas and Donut just making sure they're able to play somewhere towards that mid or at least towards A heaven together to set up traps. Using that Phoenix Molly, using the C's from Fade as well, should enable them to get so many more successful fights when it comes to those retakes, when it comes to forcing the map control. But so far, we've just kind of seen them try to play gun out, which just isn't working so far. That being said, Axolotl again, so good at finding a lot of these gaps. Starbound able to get that operator online as well. It's kind of a game changer here for them because they're able to just hold so many of those lines and make sure they're getting a lot of that information that they need without spending too much util.
It's been really effective for Axolotl so far.
Yeah.
I think that Shopify, they're just hoping to find some way to break this cold spell from Vanitas' Phoenix. There'll be a chance now with a run it back on this round, potentially, if given the opportunity. Having both duelists with ultimate gives you some winning chances if you can get early picks, even on the eco round. It's going to be really tough to find a way of actually breaking this attack. Axolotl have been cooking up round after round.
Yeah.
Launching thorns. Thorns are alive.
Shopify look like they want to really fight down through mid here. Lightning at the ready. Donut has a chance to kill them all. First one found. Now the last 2 backed into a corner. It is going to be devastation on this side of the map. What a call. Cooked up in the timeout by Coach Googly. Now Terra on the wrong side of the map. Glowstick picks up an op on the other side. A flawless Thrifty brings Shopify straight back into this thing.
That's going to be an ego booster for sure. And now we're going to see Axolotl be a little bit scared. Maybe holding a lot more on their attack side, making sure Shopify isn't doing anything too crazy, anything too aggressive. But I want to see that aggression from Shopify. Maybe not all the way down mid into their spawn, but still being able to go for those early peaks, early fights. We're actually going to see Donut set up towards that mid. They're going to have Vanitas as well towards that male to be able to help with the curveball. Flash back into sight. Delay as well with the Vital Orb. It's going to be a good setup. But Terror, she's actually taken heaven again.
Success once more. This time, though, 4 members of Shopify ready to fight this out. The site is open, though, so an easy plant from AXL if they choose to extend in. Right now, getting pushed back, Vanitas with the Phoenix. Some way to get back into this map, and 1 kill is found. That's a good way to start. Flash is removed for AXL, and the op posted up. No kill to be found just yet, as Alexis chooses to play on site. She's just 1 away from the Nightfall, so a kill here could instantly thwart any chance of AXL making it onto the site. But for now, they're just waiting. When is the reaggress going to come in?
This discipline from Shopify is so good. No reaggression, no overextension as well from the players towards mid, towards B. Now the ult's coming in under.
Alexis dodges the Steel Garden, and bullets firing down through main. AXL with 30 seconds left on the clock choose not to extend into the site. Instead, back up ramp.
30 seconds left.
Maybe have their eyes set on pivoting back through mid to B. But it's only 25 seconds, so if they want to make that call, they've got to make it quickly. Those bullets nearly spelling the end of this round for Terror. 5 HP left as the rotates have already come online. Vanitas drops down the wall. Terror can't run through it, or that would be death to the flames, but still lands a kill. 10 seconds on the clock. The Spike is running back over to A with 7 seconds left. There is just enough time to plant it unless Glowstick can cancel it. The ultimate doesn't come online. The plant is in, but it's still Shopify up in a 3-on-2 for the retake. This one's going to be absolutely insane. A Nightfall ready for Alexis, and now Vanitas down. A 2-on-2 here is a headshot with the up, sends Alexis packing. Starbound has taken over in this round. Ready to right the wrongs of that anti-eco. AXL move up to 11. It is a beautiful round from Starbound.
We talked about Shopify abusing the rotates of AXL on that Haven, but this map, AXL has done the same back, pulling them away from A. Just to go back with such low time is an insane move, but it worked out so well. And of course, so many of those kills being whiffed from the side of Shopify, and AXL just jumping on that, being able to abuse that. Now back to another default. They're slowing it down, trying to calm down after that last chaotic round. To these players, though, just trying to go for a pick. They know that there might be an operator online, and Donut's just sitting in mail, trying to see, if there's any opening for her to get.
So far, there's no opening. Mara's been very diligent using the corner, or the dog rather, up through mid. This time, though, not seeing vents. Dodo had to have been spotted. AXL were hurling bullets her way. She's made it out now. And St. Claus will time out this Prowler. Ready for the post back up. Donut spots her in the corner. With the player dropping down in mid. AXL will get ready to regroup and hit into the site. First flash sends Donut back into the site. That shot needs to connect if Shopify want to hold on to this site. And the rocket will spell the demise of Dodo. Alexis trying to find some heroic way of getting back into this round, but it's just 1 by 1 by 1 from Shopify, and that was going to force Glowstick out to save.
30 seconds
Dodo
left.
not moving around, thinking that she could get a better angle on that player towards A main, but ends up getting caught off guard because the speed up there from AXL was just so good, so well read once again, being able to catch Shopify off guard. I think now Donut has not been successful with that operator, and it's kind of brought them down a little bit because they've been depending on it to get a lot of that map control, to get those deep lines. They just haven't been able to find those openings that they normally would. I think here, if I'm Shopify, I'm really looking to go back to some sort of aggressive playstyle, not necessarily relying on that operator, but more on the double duelist, forcing them to push, forcing them to get space. Just make sure they get those openings, because that's where the kills have struggled.
Match
Now
point.
Shopify playing with their backs against the wall on this second map. They thought they could kind of just coast through this second game. You've got to feel after how much they dominated on an individual level back in Haven, and now getting that wake-up call. And it's not going to be so simple. Punch their ticket into the main event.
Yeah, I really wonder if it's because Shopify has played this map so many times that AXL have a really solid understanding of how to play. And AXL haven't played this map as a team so far, at least on paper that we've seen. So for Shopify, they haven't been able to adapt fast enough, or at least grasp the understanding of how AXL want to play now. Once again, holding, but Donut super aggressive line here.
Maybe one of the few things that's been consistently working has been Dodo pushing up and keeping the lurker at bay. Now spotted, as Dodo's going to run away there with the funky crosshair. Post onto the high-low with Alexis on her back. Little does she know, behind this wall are 5 members of AXL. Well, I think she was forward enough. She heard the zip line being taken. She's not going to be fully surprised here. Still fully isolated on backside. No support to be found till Vanitas drops into Cubby. Stuck and stunned up, forced into a corner. Again, I can't help but feel that Shopify are highly disconnected, relying completely on individuals to win out against the hits coming online. Dodo Nut has a judge in one hand
left.
and a sheriff in the other, trying somehow to stop this map ending here. And it's not going to be easy, knowing that Starbound has the op covering screens, both 2 players up in heaven. It'll be Astralis they have to deal with first.
1 enemy remaining.
And this crossfire is impossible to beat once you go down. And they've got to know where these players are going to be.
1 enemy remaining.
Glowstick on 70 health. We'll get the first and a missed shot. Has given Glowstick a chance. 5 HP. The first bullet must be there, but no. Starbound has it. We're going to a third map. Here we have it. The agents have locked in. As said, the only difference being between our duelists.
Yeah, I think this makes a lot of sense. I'm looking at players like Donut now because that last map, she was struggling a little bit once she picked up the operator. So I'm hoping we're going to see a little bit more rifle play, or at least the operator being able to get a lot of those picks. We saw Vanita struggling on the Phoenix as well, but that doesn't matter because now they're on the Vice. And I think when I'm looking at a player like Vanitas, they've always been a flex player, even previously when they played for Ghost. So I think this makes a lot of sense. I think a lot of the macro plays we've seen both these teams play really well and able to adapt really quickly and forcing the other team to play at their tempo. So when I'm looking at a map like Lotus, it's one of those maps that it really matters how you play together as a team. And I know that's kind of redundant to say, but the rotations are so important. Being able to play off that Vice util is so important. And also setting up your duelist for success. Raze with that fade is such a good combo. But for Donut, the stuns to be able to clear a lot of those angles on the attack side, being able to get a lot of that map control really easily, it's just so important here.
Yeah, when you're defending against a team that likes to play like really heavy, like map-wide macro rotates, it can be like whiplash, dealing with, oh, a door opens on the A side while 4 players are walking onto the C side, then they pull back. It can be absolutely crazy. You have to be completely dialed in. More often than not, try to post someone on a forward line to hold on to some amount of information.
Oh yeah, and Axolotl winning both pistols last game was definitely one of the biggest reasons for the snowball as well. So Shopify, they're looking to get a pistol under their belt because they've only won 1 this whole series so far.
I'll find you.
Early haunt. Scouts out just about nothing. Shopify were waiting behind it. St. Claus, who was a standout performer across both these 2 maps for Axolotl, is in the line of fire. No kill to be found just yet, but information the players are here has set Axolotl up. Turn open this door, pop a paranoia, and send Shopify scurrying back over towards the A side.
Really good rotations from both sides. Vanoia!
Ouch.
We talked about the lurk timings. She's just unable to get a pick there.
Starbound, having her number on this map of Lotus. Shopify trying to switch it up onto this B site. Astralis was caught out trying to put down the dark cover. And has to rely on St. Claus, who has come all the way around to front B. Attention pulled by Terror. That allows St. Claus to
down,
strike.
B.
Vinius had no clue where those bullets were coming from. That spike still left out in the open. And AXL have covered a lot of ground. Odo not.
30 seconds
Not
left.
sure if she saw Starbound there.
Toxin screen down.
Shopify, though, will have to commit to the plant. A tap to bait a swing, but no swing to be found. It's patient from Axolotl. Shopify creeping over towards this A side. 12 seconds on the clock now.
10 seconds left.
A big gamble, trying to put the spike on the ground. And it's a close position from Miara. Ready to cancel out this plant, but a flash has stalled it out. Team Flash has given Shopify a chance to plant the spike and set up
Cover
here.
going out.
Smoke covers the flank. Axolotl will have to
Last
pop in
player
through this
standing.
one, and the distraction is there. Glowstick trying to run away with one bullet left in the tank.
Sight.
Paranoia out, but where are the bullets? Has to pull the reload, and the spike is on the other side of default. It's a disaster here, and Axolotl will have yet another pistol round.
Crazy that St. Claus manages to get 3. 2 of them from B main. Shopify not sure what's happening or how that space was taken away from them. Just unaware, really, while trying to get that spike down. Again, these are the kinds of rounds that make me think Axolotl is just playing so well fundamentally. Able to have a lot of those micro positionings, putting themselves into good situations, and just playing really well off of it. The patience as well from St. Claus to not overpeak or overextend too early. And now, some weapons on the side of Axolotl. The Outlaw again for Starbound on that Vice. Early B main control as well here.
Yeah, there's triple stack front B. I like this. If you want to play a more mobile style of game on the anti-eco, flush out the front B player, have the threat to open the door, although showing that look last round. This time we'll just fall on back here. Allow St. Claus to stop Shopify from pushing too far forward.
Spike planted.
And now the paint shell's out from Waterfall.
One enemy
Waste to the
remaining.
planter. It'll just be the one in return out of Shopify. Very clean stuff to start up this final map.
Pretty clean, the 1-3-1, just fast rotates, able to get there just before the nades, almost denying the spike hunt as well, but just a second too late there from Terror. St. Claus, I mean, she's been doing really well holding down the sites. It feels like every single time she's been able to anchor or getting a lot of those pivotal kills, like that first map on Haven,
Now we
playing
win.
the Omen, just able to get 2 or 3 whenever the spike's about to be planted. Not necessarily top fragging every single time, but just high impact frags.
For sure.
Gun
And
round.
good at playing for her life too. Like get
Yeah.
one kill and dash away, or in this case, not playing the Omen. It's a little tougher, but can work behind some of her utility to get on through. Still an Outlaw. Post up on the forward line, but 5 players with heavy armor. It'd be hard to make too much of an impact with that one. Punch out from the smoke here. And St. Claus, once again, has found hers. And even 1 for 1. As the Thorns buy some critical seconds to rotate in. Vanitas tracing footsteps on the audio. That's Astralis running the other way. I believe there is a Vise wall.
I'm out of here.
Further lurking onto that B site. So Shopify, a little bit more committed to this C angle. Nexus trying to hold down the other side, but
Spike
Shopify are
down.
all spread around the map on
Last
an
player
anti-eco.
standing.
Nonetheless, the spike now in the open. Noya has to come back here and try and recover this somehow, but with very limited time. And 2 players now stacking on the C site. Even picking up the spike will be a challenge, let alone finding some way to get to a safe site with that in her hands. Starbound has yet to
seconds
even
left.
as much
One
as
enemy
flinch.
remaining.
The shot brings Noya down to 10.
Poison orb emitting.
Terror with a major advantage here. And 20 seconds left. It's a fake tap out on the door. Noya with a crazy read, but not prepared for the corner. Terror is there, and Axolotl continue their reign.
A bonus win is so good for them here. I talked about the snowball, and now it's just happening at double speed.
I
It
need a
feels
weapon.
like winning
I
that pistol,
appreciate that.
getting the second round, and now
Now
the
we wait.
bonus. This is the first time that Shopify has lost a bonus round to Axolotl this whole series so far, and now we're seeing it kind of in fruition. I think, again, just spreading out Shopify, they're losing a little bit of that touch, a little bit of the fundamentals, understanding how they want to play around the map, unable to trade, unable to get into those positions. Just really rough. And Axolotl, again, they're just so good at finding somehow these gaps, even if they're not fully aware of it at the beginning of the round. Being able to, mid-round, find them, make adjustments, and force those fights.
Axolotl will have two people over here on the A side. A little bit labored. 29 bullets, not good enough for the kill, but Vanitas was taken down exceptionally low regardless. Shopify don't have much forward space to claim in their favor regardless. I think Shopify will try and send this fake again.
Yeah.
This time the spike's actually on the opposite side of the map. And the snake bite stops him from really going anywhere. This is a tough one. The door was actually opened and Starbound swung up front B to kill the player mound. That's what we missed. And on the other side of the map, see how long Astralis can survive here. I reckon she can live a pretty long time. Long enough for her teammates to come on in here. Now Starbound knows there's no man in the corner, teleports out to safety. At this point, Shopify would just be happy to plant the spike, and I think that's what they're going to end up finding here, Athena, on the B side.
Not trying to get that spike down. 4 players from Axolotl here on A. They're choosing to regroup towards that baby door. Again, no overpeaking, no overextension, but they're about to meet Noya.
Well, Noya's going to meet
Yep.
the floor. And Axolotl have sufficiently wiped Shopify all over it.
Flawless.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting. I mean, Shopify usually on their
This is where
things,
someone
they
says something
prioritize
pithy and
grabbing
we
those
pretend to
orbs.
tolerate them.
Feels like now they've
Go
just
ahead.
kind of tried to go for that fake
I'll wait.
over and over again. I wonder if they're conditioning for something deeper,
Now we
or if
wait.
it was just try to get your one,
Rip and
try to
tear.
pull some focus, just try to do anything just to make the round a little bit easier. But now another gun round online for the side of Shopify. I'm looking at them to do something a little bit different. So far, they've been spread out every single time, and it looks like they're going to keep doing that. But maybe the mid-round's going to happen just a tiny bit faster. Trying to find one of those early peaks as well, just to enable them for success.
I mean, Shopify know that Axolotl played front B a lot of rounds, so I think this round they were just trying to clear the front B player, but now have realized there's a gap. Vanitas lands the first blow on the C side, and Dodonet has somehow come all the way through. This is insane. And Axel have no idea that this could even be possible because Miara had that patrolled for so long. Now
but
it's
where-
opened up. What?
Where are they trying to end, Ender? Like, I don't get it. They're Donut's flanking A, spikes towards B.
I thought for sure they were going to end over on C with this walk-in, but I guess Dodo's going to be happy to land another pick and pull Dodo over her way.
Coming through.
So now the spike for Shopify is getting ready to go on that C side. There is some serious trouble for St. Claus,
Spike
who meets the
down.
lightning.
C. One
And the
enemy
thunder
remaining.
as well. The wraparound from sight has left Starbound alive 1v3.
Spike planted.
About to meet Dodo Nut right around the corner. Good luck hitting that one. I don't think it's going to be there. Shopify Rebellion finally on the board.
Kind of crazy that they got that round by setting up Donut for success, essentially. Really good timing as well from Donut to be aware that nobody spotted her crossing towards that B main. Able to get so much information and catch the rotates off guard. Feels like a little bit of a glimpse of what we were seeing from Haven, but just on a deeper scale. But now, obviously, we're not going to be able to see that play once again. We're going to know that Axolotl has a deeper hold towards that. It looks like they were trying to find that Vice wall at the beginning for Shopify, but once they realized there wasn't any util there, they were able to abuse that. 3 players, though, set up towards A. Yep. Oh, I didn't even notice.
That's
3
crazy.
ults, double op.
Starbound just playing for the shot over here on A. Very passive line. Where are Shopify trying to go from here, though?
It's kind of crazy how slow this game is going right now based on the last 2 maps that we saw.
Totally. Totally. This one is screeching to a halt here. I'm a little worried for Shopify, though, with how spread out there. 2 players still on the C side. Alexis might be trying to sell something with an ult fake? Is my only guess with this positioning. But still, Terror's not going to be hit by the Nightfall, and it still is posted up on the angle, so there's no way AXL will go by that. And Starbound doesn't flinch on this A side.
30
Easy
seconds.
kill from the flash, back on the line. And now switches over to the right side of Pillar. Dancing around here. Finding all these members of Shopify. Shots aren't quite there. And now with full control of Heaven, Glowstick lights up here. In the final hours of round 6. 2v3, it's Axolotl down a player. And Miara trying to come back in through tree. He to work off of.
Last player standing.
And it catches the right player, but it's not good enough. It does tell St. Claus both members are in tree. And here comes the green. Gun jammed. Pulls out the classic. Right up against the wall with those right clicks. They are deadly,
no
St. Claus!
way!
How have you done it?
Oh my god, I can't believe it. I was just about to say that was such an expensive round for Axolotl to lose the double op, but St. Claus wins it out, picking the op back up. Kind of crazy now. Shopify, that they definitely need that tack. They are going to be fuming about that loss. 2v1, running into that Viper's pit. Even with that classic, forcing the gun jam in, they still lose that round. That's gonna sting. That's gonna burn.
Yeah, making the call there to go 1 by 1 into the pit, thinking that the player would be on the spike and you're trying to win on time and delay as long as possible, but
yeah,
it ends up costing them massively.
Yeah, I mean, that and the fact that Shopify, they've been committing to this fake for so many rounds now, and it's just not working out. None of the rotates have been happening. The only time that they've managed to catch any rotates off guard is when Donut is deep into their spawn. So I think they need to reassess here. I think they need to be doing something a lot more grouped up. Like you mentioned, it feels like they've been spread out for so long across the map, especially in the mid round, with no clear understanding of what the ending is going to look like. So Shopify, they need to regroup here. Being able to just play together. They could put pressure on both sides, but that mid round is so much more important to be playing grouped up. Axolotl, they're not falling for any of these fakes at all.
Rip and tear.
A bit. And it was something that was costing them rounds back on Haven. I think they've become more and more aware of how Shopify like to call their halves. More and more aware of their own tendencies that Shopify were exploiting. And how about St. Claus too? With another clutch, sitting 11 kills in this map already, and now ready to activate on this track play. But they've got util inside of the smoke. Everyone's just walking at each other. It's madness. Pandemonium breaks loose as a teleport behind enemy lines. Glowstick is right in the middle of 2 players. Has completely opened up this C site. Terror, low HP, but still a threat in the server. Bringing back water. Shots exchanged, but Terror lives to tell the tale. And lives to pull the attention away from Starbound, who now has yet another ultimate to pull. Steel Gardens. The other side in the previous round, now from the defense. As Terror's judge inches ever closer. Shopify still haven't planted the spike. Still trying to pull Axolotl out from their crevices. Come out and challenge them to a fight.
30 seconds left.
Alexis realizes it's time to
Spike
commit to
planted.
this. And it still won't be easy for Axolotl to
Poison
get in
orb
here.
emitting.
With such limited HP on Terror.
One enemy remaining.
Needs Noya to step into her, and that's exactly what Noya gives her. Axolotl were waiting for something to happen. They don't have the right guns or the health to retake this. But they have been handed a gift.
One enemy remaining.
Oh,
And that gift is somehow unraveled. Alexis. Spots the player above. Dancing around, and it's
Oh
Alexis all the way. The Red Bull clutch. She single-handedly claims this one for Shopify.
that's 2 rounds in a row where a team has lost because they've gone 1 by 1 in a numbers advantage. Things are falling apart here. Fundamentals, they're out of the window. We're just focused on the chaos and making sure that we can win this round. But the franticness is just ruining a lot of these rounds now. What a crazy clutch by Alexis, just being able to isolate as well in terms of positioning. I think for Axolotl, they just had such a good read, and now they're forced onto this Thrifty. They're fighting towards A main. That TP is not going to be good. Close to getting the pick onto Australis. Axolotl stuck to try to get another one of those picks.
Hard to complain about this start for Shopify, although with Donut hitting the pavement, all of a sudden, Shopify are limited in their tools to actually accelerate into this A site.
Crazy that glow stick doesn't peak there after Donut starts getting spotted. I think the timing on that again was just a little rough. But a full commit here to the A site.
Double walk up on B, but that doesn't really do much for Starbound.
Spike planted.
Nice shot though. Slips into drop. Now the walls close in, but that flank has activated. Starbound knows both of these players are on site. So with a Viper's Pit, let's see if Shopify can use the pit to favor themselves. Same duo as last round, and it's Alexis once again. Alexis in these late round situations
One enemy remaining.
has been so good, and this time it is Noya to deliver the finishing touch. And that time, it's Shopify playing together. The jump out through from Alexis to set up Noya to win that fight.
I think it was really nice too that once they put that Viper's pit down, they were aware the spike was not in it. So their winning condition around that pit was to fight forward. And they fought towards that A link, and it worked out in their favor, obviously. But now, looking ahead at both these teams, an operator online for Starbound, they've been really successful at just holding, not over-rotating, and being able to get those picks. And for Shopify, Nightfall online, not ready yet. They know that staying group now has been a lot more successful for them. They need to be able to put that pressure on. Being able to stay grouped, being able to get those trades as well is so important.
I feel like Alexis has taken a lot of responsibility in this map. The previous rounds has been a little bit quieter. She usually takes a more supportive role, so she's less relevant until deep in rounds. So far, she has been critical to Shopify's success in winning the last 2. This time, waiting outside of C while the pinch comes in. Donut again fighting forward. The St. Claus has waited to take her down. It's going to force Shopify to find a way through this complication of losing their lurker. Come back onto this B site, where Australis has been waiting in the wings.
Spike planted. Last player standing.
Donut not fooled though. No surprise at all. And
Toxin
while
screen down.
Alexis will take the back foot in a round like this, Shopify have found success all the same.
Crazy the deja vu that they've gotten that success through Donut getting into their spawn once again. Running through that B site, just speeding up. But now I think Shopify, they've understood it now. They've seen that the group up action has been great. Alexis trying to get on that lurk, not being successful, but at least she kept the Nightfall online for that next round. Now the operator being saved, Starbound unable to find anything with that the last round, just being punished.
Look, I've seen Alexis use the Nightfall as a fake tool. Like almost every single one of her ults. I'd love to see her hit a site with it.
On split, using that Nightfall and then not planning the spike off of it was kind of insane too.
Yeah. Well, looks like Axolotl are going to be forced to call the timeout.
Yeah.
Again, I feel like this has been a pretty streaky series of maps. like the games will look close for a second and then one team will just run away with it. And it seemed like that was going to be AXL after winning the bonus early on after their pistol, but Shopify have found the right answers in those clutch moments to bring this close to even.
Yeah, I think for AXL now, I hope they've recognized that B seems to be their weakness in general. They need to set up a little bit more than just the Vice util, maybe some trap plays. I talked about Miara and Terror, the C's, the nade combo. I feel like we've only seen it towards that long A, the main lobby take. But I want to see them do that more towards B. Maybe some trap setup, maybe a fake haunt towards A to fake the fight, fake some sort of pressure, and just push them back just a little bit. But it's kind of rough. St. Claus 13-5 though. She's been playing phenomenally. I feel like every time they've gone towards C, she's just been ready.
Axolotl gonna be stuck on a bit of a tough buy here, but that won't stop Starbound from holding on to that operator. Operator to control A, a judge over towards C, so Axel will have the funny guns to turn this into a funny round if the chance is provided to them. This round looks an awful lot like the Nightfall fake on C, doesn't
I was
it?
about to say, this is... No, we're fine because we're leaving C under and we're grouping up, except for Dodona, but that's fine because our Nightfall is going to be grouped up.
Toxins
And the
going up.
re-contact, re-walk-up play here from Shopify, it's going to grant them so much map control, but Starbound playing a little bit more passive with that operator might be able to just catch one.
Yeah, especially because the people about to cross is either Glowstick or Alexis with the operator. Alexis could be in serious trouble because she's going to want to push forward to get into a better spot to rip the Nightfall. Once the gas comes up, though, she waits to cross, so it's very diligent for now. And keep your eyes on B. That's where Shopify's duelist is. It's going to be a fake out on the A all the same. No Nightfall yet, but a wall that needs to be baited out. And Noya actually takes a spike past it. That's a little bit crazy. Your spike is stuck on the wrong side of the wall, and the Nightfall pings everyone. They're all so low, but they will pivot back into B. Eyes on heaven, though. St. Claus, with a Guardian in hand. Now blocked off by the dark cover. And with the walk up, Vanitas was waiting for it. Some easy pickings before Starbound will even the score. Shopify Rebellion have swarmed all over the map, by the way. Donut checking out Axolotl's spawn.
Last player standing.
An idea of the place before she moves in the second half. And now Miara straight into two players, a three-piece out of Glowstick, and we're all even at 5.
I know Shopify won that round, but it was still so scary, especially considering the fact that they had 3 pistols on the side of Axolotl, and we're still able to get it somewhat close, somewhat chaotic. Inoya passing past that vice wall with the spike is super crazy, but gambling that there's no one towards that key, beating all that vice util when you know that they're on a little bit of a low buy. Just so many scary little things that could go wrong for Shopify, but they pulled through. 5 for 5, it's tied. We're still grouped up, which is good. A lot of pressure towards that C-long. Noya just putting that wall up, but Axolotl has full A control here. They're able to fast rotate one phase activated.
It should be really tough on these angles for Starbound to do much of anything. Especially since Shopify already come into the site, but still they have found a way. Some way to work in, and now St. Claus is coming to support. A Nightfall from the defense side, and Noya! No! Glowstick dies! Their own teammate, Snakebite, got pushed back into that, and the decay of the Nightfall is what did them in. Now Alexis just enters this B site on her own. Claus had no clue it could come in that quickly. The good C's. Slowed this down for a moment.
Last player
Alexis
standing.
and Noya again in the clutch, and Alexis once more enters the 1v3. Fake on the tap. Still no aggro pulled. 2 1v3s in the same game.
30
game
seconds
would just
left.
be absurd. The comeback in this first half started with Alexis pulling off what seemed impossible. And now she's been given the space to set up here. A long way to go for AXL to come back in here and defuse this spike.
10
She
seconds
also
left.
has that haunt online, able to get some sort of info on what part of the map she wants to take, because such low numbers, she's going to want to have to force a fight, force some sort of isolation kill. She's choosing to go towards heaven. Haunt still online.
Play aggressive. You gotta be aggressive. You gotta catch a timing. It's a good first shot, but a little bit too much power behind it. As Terra will take the round.
Shopify Rebellion, it feels a little bit like they're overcooking here, but also that C execute. It just feels so disconnected. I think that's the best way to describe it. The pathing just isn't fully there. Nobody's holding that elbow peak. Starbound able to get one.
Last round
Noya's
in the
Molly
half.
comes in super late at snakebite, not in time to punish the elbow peak. So it feels
It punished someone.
I wasn't gonna bring that up. But, yeah, it's just so disconnected. Feels like they need to redo that C execute. Make sure everybody's locked in on what they're watching, how they want to counter, how they want to trade.
That'll be
Little
one
bit
they'll
of a
check
struggle.
out in the VOD review for sure.
Yep.
Maybe just going back to basics
find
here.
you.
Haven't seen them set up for just an A hit in a while, and maybe for a good reason. Donut does not get to play round 12. Have to try again another day. So where do Shopify go from here? A couple of ultimates to play off of, but not having any space outside of C or A makes this round really tough. They have to step back up A.
Yeah, and AXL has 3 ults online. They have such good
Toxins
retake
going up.
ults. Shopify, they need to get numbers here. They need to get picks before they play that post plan, because it's going to be so hard when you have the showstopper and
Oh yeah,
Isol. It's crazy.
it just gets tougher and tougher. Especially if you wait too long before activating on a site. You could just get run down on time with a last second showstopper. And now the Haunt spotting these players too. Let's Axolotl dig in their heels on this A side. Miara is not going anywhere. Just swing off of Astralis. The Viper wall
30 seconds left.
cuts up the lines of sight for the time
Toxins
being.
going down.
25 seconds left on the clock. And the snake bite will force Terra to rotate the long way around, but that rocket is going to be coming in at the same time that you're trying to plant the spike, so good luck. Chucking the spike over towards Alexis. Vanitas will use that very forward Steel Garden.
Launching Thorn.
There could have been a world where Terra went flying in with a showstopper
Yeah.
regardless, but now Vanitas up on a forward line. And now it's Axolotl up in numbers, but without much space to play with. This will be tough. Steel Garden forces out the pistol, and Alexis can't trade out before the rocket claims her life. So now Noya on the forward line. No one shooting Noya. She has given her teammates a chance. 2-on-2 now, and a perfect position for Vanitas.
One enemy remaining.
Gives up their position, but lands the bullets regardless. Shopify Rebellion come back swinging.
That was insane. It
Switching
felt
sides.
a little bit unwinnable for Shopify. I think the timing was there, like you said, for Terra to just push forward, be able to be a little bit more aggressive. But, you know, if I'm Axolotl, I'm still happy with this scoreline. 6-6, even though they did lose out a snowball of rounds, 4 rounds in a row that they weren't able to hold it. I think they're still happy with it. Now, switching over onto their attack side, I'm hoping we see a little bit more action here, because Axolotl, they've played a lot quicker on the last 2 maps. I think Shopify Rebellion overcooking just a little bit on their attack side, trying to force rotates instead of just grouping. I think Axolotl, they tend to do it just a little bit quicker. 3 players towards the side of C here for this pistol.
Where are you?
Looking to win just another one.
Yeah, I wonder if Shopify Rebellion are capable of beating Axolotl on the pistols. I'm not sure. Done a one-time today, and that feels like ages ago now. All the way back on Haven. Haven't seen too much yet, though. Axolotl are really respecting the chance of a refight coming out from the cover.
I really like that Axolotl is just holding here for a second. But it's not like they're holding and just staying spread out. They're now
Toxins
grouping
going
up
up.
towards A. As I say that, they just juked me out, and they're actually grouping up towards B. But
Hey,
St.
you've juked out
Claus-
Shopify too.
hey, it
Shopify
worked.
have 2 players on the A side. Question is
Toxins
whether or not
going up.
Noya can have an impact here. There is a Vise wall to cut Terror off from her teammates, and that allows Alexis to come on in and take care of the duelist. So now, time pressure, 30 seconds on the clock. This lurker on the A side is down,
30
so they have to
seconds
open the door and sprint into the B side when there's still a paranoia because they never pulled out that utility early on. That's the punish
Spike down.
of waiting for the refight
Team
and not
A.
doing anything proactively, as there is tons of utility when you eventually do make up your minds. And good grief, Shopify Rebellion just put 8.5 clips into the body on the ground.
That, and they've got a pistol under their belt after that one on Haven. It feels like it's been forever, like you said, but now they're able to get that pistol. They're finally able to play that second round with the better weapons and hopefully start their own snowball, just because they've been struggling for the first half of each of these games that they've played. Now, 4 players for AXL stacked towards that A site. Not playing too aggressive, waiting for all that util, but they're playing a fast rotate here.
Spike down A.
Early spam takes a life. And if you think about it, this game looks
One enemy
close, but
remaining.
it hasn't felt close in a while. Shopify Rebellion have been on a roll after losing the first 4 rounds of the game. Since then,
Flawless.
7-2 the scoreline, and with a flawless anti-eco, make that an 8-2 scoreline.
Happy with that. I'm liking that Shopify just kept pushing there as well. Just kept fighting for that goal line. Not just giving it up after that first initial pick with numbers. This is the kind of aggression that I want to see from Shopify, especially because you have potentially one of the best duelists in Game Changers right now, Donut, on your team. Just enable a lot of that aggression, enable the ego peaks. I think it's a really good risk to take most of the time here if you're Shopify.
Well, an ego fight right here for Dodo. 2 players behind her though, so well put together, well crafted from Shopify. One-way reinforce that left angle. Astralis has to really consider whether or not she's going to stick around there. For now, she does choose to hang on out. The AXL don't have much territory to work with so far in this round.
I really like the double peek here towards C from AXL. If they do it. One way coming in again, though, it's going to prevent that from happening.
AXL finally waited long enough that the stack on mound fell apart. And it's just glow stick here. This patience from them has rewarded them consistently on their attack sides. Now they walk in. Paranoia is a bit of a whiff, but Astralis will live regardless. Rotate's already underway from Shopify Rebellion. It's limited time for
30
Axolotl.
seconds left.
Maybe stalling out a little bit too much as already Dodonut has slid into the site, wrapped around Bent. With this Guardian, no success to be claimed just yet. That's a hell of a shot out of Dodo. With 15 seconds left, Shopify have to make the choice. Do they push in on the plant? Vanitas is making that call. Already into this one, but already the spike has been planted. Axolotl haven't found much comfort into the site though. Backed up into Bend as Vanitas steps up for another good shot.
Enemy remaining.
The fire back though, and now on both fronts, Miara is getting pushed down upon.
One enemy remaining.
Vanitas in the front, she turns back around, and Noya is there. That is now a 9th round for Shopify. They're on a roll.
They are on a roll. Bonus round win here for Shopify. They're going to be so happy with that one. Axolotl looks like they did everything right in that mid-round, waiting for those rotates. But Shopify, even after fully stacking off of that site, going towards that A site, playing towards that door opening, they were just so quick at being able to rotate back because they got that information so fast. Alexis with that haunt, able to clear that A, recognizing that it was a fake, and just the fast flood as well. Really well played by Shopify. And now I'm starting to feel a little bit more understanding of how they're playing this match and really confident in their defensive side.
Now on the anti-eco, just need to keep things calm. Keep it clean. Off to a shaky start there. No more glow stick. Dissipates, so Dodonut will hold down left click in terror. Eighth sight just got blown wide open. What in the world just happened?
I literally think we need to scientifically see how many times I've said something and just the exact opposite has happened the next round. Like me saying I'm confident in defense and then they do that. It's kind of crazy. I'm the most cursed caster.
I'm confident on Axolotl's pistols, and that's all they had. So, no surprise to me that it works out perfectly. Don't listen to the VOD. I didn't sound surprised at all. I promise. Vanitas could still work this, though. Especially with the triple up in tree. Tree, I find to be a notoriously hard angle to fight back in from. That's one, that's two. And make it a third. Vanitas takes the round. Not even close.
So remember when I said we should scientifically see how many times I've said something?
Easy Red Bull clutch.
That was actually insane. The spray transfer there. Also, Dodonut spray transfer towards that A lobby at the beginning with the Phantom. Just Alexis unable to trade. So many of these kills are just so crispy and clean.
Retrieving wall.
That's giving me flashbacks. I hated, like, I always said with Teddy, like, never do the post plant from tree. Because you can only swing from one side of it. So even if you're up in numbers, you kind of have to go in one by one. It's really hard to hold that 2v1 and 3v1. And you see it on display there. Now Axolotl trailing by 4 when they had a chance of getting so close. Around they had no real business winning to begin with.
Take them!
Nightfall into the site. Terror choosing to hold on to the showstopper for now, and that's a good call. Only getting the single ping. Players rotating out, and Shopify Rebellion now going to step on back there. He just needs to be a little bit careful, but that should be okay. Once more, Astralis up close and personal around the corner. Spotted out by the Prowler. Falls back down the rope. Shopify are really respecting the forward fight for now, though.
Poison orb emitting.
St. Claus is in the hardest position to deal with. And Noyan makes it look easy. The rest of Shopify follows suit. Not even a moment to breathe. They're just running through Axolotl right now.
One enemy remaining.
Stuck in behind the box. It's misery for Astralis. Shopify Rebellion make quick work of that retake.
Yeah, that was kind of chaotic, kind of crazy, but
Team A.
I'm really upset with the way that Axolotl played that. Using that Nightfall, Miara had a Prowler left. If she had used that Prowler to see where that one player that she tagged was, she would have seen that they're all the way in heaven. It would have been a free sight for sure. And Terra maybe would have been able to hold on to that showstopper and been able to get a deeper line, more aggressive with that ult to punish that retake. But now they just enabled Shopify to just get all that map control back because they took so long clearing the site and popped that showstopper just a tiny bit too early. The timing, the positioning, and the util usage just didn't add up there for Axolotl.
So now a timeout called. In the final moments of this game, Shopify Rebellion have gone on an 11 round to 2 streak here. Since they called their own timeout back after losing the anti-bonus and being put in a real tough position, but they've completely stepped up to the plate. We saw early on in that comeback the Alexis clutches. We had a Vanitas clutch as well, completely shrugging off the weaker performance back on split. Vanitas has stepped up in a major way right alongside the other newest member of Shopify and Glowstick.
Yeah, it feels like both these teams are understanding the fundamentals of how they want to play, but they're both going to be kicking themselves in the shins here, knowing that a lot of the times it's just been the clutches that they're losing to, or the one-by-one peaks early on in the game for Shopify and later on in the game for Axolotl. So still technically, for some reason in my mind, a close game here. Even though it is 11-6, it feels like the rounds are so close. And now another force up here for the side of AXL. They have those Guardians, 2 on Terror and Starbound. Rifles for the rest of them though. Donut with the operator set up towards long C, and they have a full aggressive setup when the rest of Axolotl is actually heading towards that A site.
Vanitas is alone. That hasn't necessarily held them back on this third and final round. Wall baited out for now. Board getting opened as well. And it's going to be time for Axolotl to move in here. Without the benefit, without the player to lean on in the lurk. There'll just be 4 players into this A site. Vanitas holding their ground for the 5v4 retake.
Spike
Going
planted.
back into drop. Vanitas is there. Up there does deal with the Steel Garden, so no big ultimate for Shopify to bank on in the post plant as 2 come up the rope. We've seen 1 before, but never 2. Shopify could be in some serious trouble. The C's maybe tells hand of Axolotl, but now with the util combo, breaking up Dodonut away from her teammates. She's just trying to stay alive, and Noya has the other side of default. Molly's down in the corner. St. Claus stuck on drop. No way to fight out but forward. And Glowstick comes right around the other side to take Shopify within 1 more round of main event.
The spike is diffused.
So close yet again. This is what I'm talking about. These rounds are so close. 2v1, 2v2s. Feels like
Match
every
point.
single round. 1v3s as well. Shopify, though, pulling away. Their retakes have been really good. Although they have been chaotic, they've still been able to trade and to fight together when it's required. I think Alexis being alone there, even though she managed to get dropped, it still didn't matter because the speed up is so nice. Dodonut just speeding up onto site. Noya holding that angle to make sure if anyone's over peaking or overextending, they're gonna get punished. And they know that Heaven is so nice little adjustments once again. Flipping that site from Shopify. Another heavy A start here for Axolotl.
No time for Axolotl to go back to the drawing board. They're just once more up towards A. Change up their lurker to be playing B side this though. Alexis has some adjustments of her own. Being spammed out back tree though. No one has their gun out. And Alexis will eventually be punished. Good shot onto Terror. It's actually been responded to beautifully. And Shopify, by overloading with the Omen ult, had now encouraged Axolotl to pivot back B. But that's exactly what they wanted. Vanitas up in Heaven. Still has access to the ultimate. And now Glowstick sends out the Paranoid. TP's back onto site. A good position to be in, but Terror leads it entirely. The only X factor is Vanitas, and somehow they've done it again. Good God! What is that? 3 kills into the round, sliding all through it. Shopify Rebellion are headed to the main event.